The downfall of Buffalo, the rise of Houston, and the unfortunate. Hello, I'm Mark with my good friend Tom here. Welcome to Week 10 with the Fumble Fork.
Hell yeah. So honestly, in just the intro, you already hit on two of my points.
I feel that today we are going to have almost exactly the same points. I'm gonna.
We did watch a lot of games together, so.
Yeah, so I'd like to start us off with the wonderful prime time Monday night game, if you don't mind.
Go for it. That was the best game of the week.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well,
One of the two best games of the week.
I mean, Bronco country, let's ride.
Oh God. Oh God, I swear to God, I'm gonna beat up Russell Wilson.
I just want to ask.
Broncos country, let's ride.
I just want to ask Josh Allen and the whole Buffalo Bills. Who's their head coach?
Sean McDermott.
Sean McDermott. 370 yards of offense against the Broncos, and you hand the game away. What the fuck? Say, like, guys.
Yeah, this game was a wrap too.
Like, why do you keep playing down to your competition? This was not only was this a closer game than when you guys played the Giants like 2 weeks ago, where you played down to them too and almost gave them the win, but they're the Giants, so they fucking suck, unfortunately. You played down to the Broncos and they took it from you.
No surprise there. You can't roll the dice every single week and expect to win every single week. It's just, you just can't.
On the last two plays of the game, the very last two plays of the game, Taron Johnson, number 7 for the Bills defense. He's been with them since 2018. He's not a rookie, and he's all over the Broncos receiver and gives up 28 yards with a pass interference. You put them in.
Yeah, dude. The Bills looked like they had the game on lock, and then they just started acting like a bunch of clowns in the circus.
You put them in field goal range, and then what do?
So bad. In the blink of an eye.
In the blink of an eye, they come into field goal range, and then what do? You send 12 men out, and so that the flag is thrown, and their botched kick, which would have won you the game, they get a do-over?
Yeah, that was, dude. How the hell is that possible on a professional football team, man? The thing is, so
the Dolphins lost to you when they did. I am baffled. Yeah. If this is the kind of play that one of the best teams of the NFL,
they're not.
That's why I put up air quotes. If you're one of the best teams of the NFL, what the fuck are you doing?
They are showing their true colors. They are truly a 500 or slightly better than 500 team. Something that maybe some of the newer football folks out there wouldn't understand is that on a play like that, at the very end of the game, when they're lining up for the field goal, 12 men on the field is very strange because there's absolutely no reason in the universe why an extra man who's not on the field goal unit would run out there. Like, this isn't just like a bonehead decision. This isn't just like, oh, poor coaching, oh, poor organization, oh, the field goal team was crazy, or he didn't check in before he ran onto the field. It's not something like that that's so ridiculously small or so ridiculously obvious. This is just like, he's not even in the correct unit and he's lining up out there. What the fuck? I just don't understand how that's like. It makes no sense. If you're somebody who plays on the field goal unit, the only time that you would go out on the field normally is for the field goal. So if they call out the field goal unit, you're running out there for just the field goal. You know who you are. In the NFL, they have all kinds of signals. They train each other like crazy in order to be in the right place at the right time at the perfect moment. And in this case, I just don't know how the hell your players aren't coached up well enough at this point in the season. We're 10 games into the season. How are you not coached up enough to the point where you don't make an easy mistake like that, a rookie mistake like that, at 10 weeks into the season? You've had 10 weeks of practice, 10 weeks of real regular season games, and you still are trotting out on the field during the field goal unit. Like, what is wrong with these people? It's almost like they just didn't listen to coach at all during practice. Like, the special teams person needs to be gotten rid of immediately.
They looked
Also,
at the Eagles and said that we can do that worse.
Yeah, we can do that, but we're not good. They fired their offensive coordinator overnight.
Yes, I was going to touch on this.
Yeah, shocked, honestly.
I'm not shocked once I saw, like, I was reading an ESPN article on it, and once I saw it, they haven't scored more than 25 points in the past games.
I know.
And they've had a lot of trouble with turnovers. Like, last night was the absolute worst for them in the past couple games. 4 turnovers to Denver's 1.
Yeah, it's bad.
But like,
it's really bad.
But if you look at their past games, it's versus the Bengals, it was 2 turnovers to 0. Versus the Bucks, 1 to 0. Pats, 2 to 1. Giants 2 to 1. 2 to 0, actually. The Giants gave up no turnover. Like,
well, that's because the Giants can barely function enough to throw an interception.
Yeah, true.
So listen, I'm not gonna say that the Bills are good. They're still going to the playoffs. Don't worry. Definitely 100%. They're still gonna make the playoffs, unless this new offensive coordinator they bring in is total garbage. They'll make the playoffs again. But honestly, they might be at the point now where they're thinking, we can't win. Let's get as good of a draft pick as we can. Like, honestly, they might be in tank situation at this point. I don't know if they're tanking yet on purpose, but it's something that they might be considering in the next few weeks if they don't really see some forward progress here, because, dude, after this season, they lose a couple of key guys due to contracts, and they're going to need to replenish their stock of players here because they're aging. Josh Allen ain't getting any younger. How old is Josh Allen now? He's 26, I think. How old is Josh Allen, Marky? Do you know?
No, I have no idea.
Let me see. He is 27 now. He's not getting younger. Like, he's a good quarterback, and I love him. I'm sure most people love him. He's a good quarterback, but he's got to control the interceptions. And on top of that, the Bills have got to stop fucking around with his career. Like, if you're not going to set him up in a position where he's going to be allowed to win a Super Bowl, let him go to a team that will. Like, I think that it's kind of a abomination what the Bills are doing with Josh Allen's career, because they should not be 5-5. If they just had, honestly, if they had a different and better coaching staff, they might be like 8-3. 8-2, I mean.
Did you know that they actually have one of the worst conference records this year so far?
Like in their own division or their conference?
No, their conference.
Interesting.
They're 2
in the entire AFC?
They're 2-5 in
Oh, you're saying against AFC opponents.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, like, even if they
that sounds right.
Even if they do manage to sneak in on a wild card slot, like, what they don't, it doesn't seem like they have a chance to go all the way if they keep playing if they keep playing like this.
I don't think that at this point that they're a 500 team, okay? So they might squeak into the playoffs, but to be honest with you, I don't think it's worth it. I think that they should tank and they should pick up some draft capital in the offseason. I'm not at the point yet where I'm going to say it's over, but it's time to start thinking bigger picture here for the next 2 or 3 years, because I really can't see the Bills beating the Bengals or the Chiefs to take the AFC Championship game. Like, at this point, Mark, be real with me. Let's say that they end up in an AFC title match against the Texans. Do you think that the Bills would beat the Texans?
No.
Not after what I saw last night, at least.
No.
Just to be in mind, we're recording on Tuesday, so last night was Monday Night Football. But I couldn't see them beating the Texans. The Texans are on a roll. I couldn't see them beating many members of the AFC. They definitely wouldn't beat the Ravens. I don't think they'd beat the Browns. I don't think they'd beat the Steelers. I don't think they'd beat the Bengals. I'm not even sure that they could beat the Chargers. Then the Dolphins are still going to give them a run for their money.
I think if Houston gets into the playoffs, everybody's got to be worried about playing them.
I think that they're going to get into the playoffs. I mean, they're 5-4.
I'm hoping for them. I'd love to see CJ Stroud get into the playoffs. I'd love to see it.
It's just, dude, I literally, okay, so I'll just spoil the surprise. I wrote a note here at the bottom, and all that it says, I don't know if you can see it or not. It says the Jags are frauds. It's just, dude, they're just the most fraudulent team in football. Yeah. They suck. Like, I don't know how they keep squeaking out wins every week. They're not good.
I do
the 49ers finally taught them a fucking lesson, though.
I do have one more minor point for last night's game.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Russell Wilson had his best game in the past 5 games.
No. This was his best game as a Bronco.
Not in terms of yards. He's averaging around 190 yards.
Yeah, statistically it wasn't, but he managed the game.
Well, actually, he had an 82 comp rate.
Sure.
This is compared to his average 61 comp rate.
No, I get it. Yeah, it's just, I mean, statistically, as in raw number of yards, raw number of passing attempts. Mm-hmm. But he threw 2 TDs. He threw 2 TDs, 0 picks. I don't think he had any fumbles, did he? I think it was the running back that fumbled. Mm-hmm. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I mean, he maintained control of the ball. He did what I want Russell Wilson to do if I'm a coach. He acted as a veteran presence who can command a game and the direction that it's going in. Like, even though the Broncos were down on their final drive, I had faith that they would pull it off because he was on fire last night. Like, dude, he looked great. It was weird. Last night, for just a brief moment, Broncos fans got to see the Russell Wilson they thought they were getting 2 years ago. But yeah, I mean, I don't think the Broncos are going to sneak into the playoffs, but I'm happy to see that the AFC West is not just a guaranteed sure thing for the Chiefs. Because I don't know if you won this or not, but I'm pretty sure it's the past 5 seasons in a row the Chiefs have won.
I'm not surprised. How long has
Let's see, 1
Mahomes has been playing
2
for 5-6 years.
3 4
5
5 6 7 Okay, 7 years. It's been 7 years. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, no. It's been 7 years, but on that 8th year, the Broncos edged it out by a single win. Oh, that was the year that the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Was the last time that the Chiefs didn't win their division. And hold on. Remarkable, though, in that 8th year, the Chiefs went 11-5, and they had gone on a 10-win streak to end the season.
Jesus.
So, dude, Bengals, the Chiefs are in dynasty status at this point. I swear to fucking Christ, if they win it an 8th year in a row, it's time to sell. 3 of these people in the AFC West have to sell their team. I'm tired of it. That's. I kind of wish that it worked like that. Like there was like sudden death for ownership of your team if you just performed so bad for so long. Because Jesus fucking Christ, man, the poor Chargers fans. It's just disappointment after disappointment for them.
Mm-hmm.
They can't catch a goddamn break. But yeah. So, did you have anything else on the Bills?
Bronco country, let's ride.
Oh my fucking god! All right. Anyway,
I mean, as a Dolphins fan, I have to be happy anytime that fucking.
So here's one that I don't think you were going to talk about, but I've been hot on this topic all season. The Seahawks are looking sharp. They are nipping at the 49ers' heels, man.
I didn't have a lot to talk about them, but I did have a note.
Well, what you got?
So the after this week's game against the Bucks, San Francisco has Seattle, then Philly, back to Seattle, or rather, they go to Seattle, then they come to Philly, and then they host Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
In the past 10 years, they have played 22 matches against each other, San Francisco and Seattle. They've only won 6 times.
I know. I talked about this 1 week on the forecast.
Oh. But when they've won in
I'm glad you've seen the light.
When they won in Seattle, they've gone on to win the NFC West.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, you have to understand the Seattle Seahawks within the past 10 years were like the force of the NFC. So it makes sense that they were losing some of the games back then. But again, the game from 10 years ago doesn't really have that much of a bearing on the game today.
No, I know. I'm just
But
saying,
it is true. Like, I mean, hey, the Seattle Seahawks kind of have their number a little bit, even when they're really good.
So my point here was that, like, as much as I want to see Philly crush them, I think they need to be more concerned with Seattle, especially
So the 49ers?
Yeah, the 49ers.
Yeah, so I was about to say this. The road to the playoffs runs through Seattle for the 49ers. If they split with the Seahawks, I think the Seahawks take the division. If they lose twice to the Seahawks, they're fucked and they might not even get a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because dude, the Cowboys are definitely going to get a wild card. We'll talk playoffs in just a little bit, but I wanted to just break down a little bit of the Seahawks game here. So DK Metcalf is starting. He's at a point in his career now where he is starting to show some serious teeth on the field. The man, he has a Hershey bar ab set up, like his abs look like a Hershey bar, and he just beats the shit out of his opponents every single time he takes off. I watched an interview with this monster the other day, and they asked him, "What do you eat every day?" And he's like, "Pizza, cheeseburgers, and candy. I'm just naturally better than you. I'm just genetically better than you. Sorry, bud. I don't need to do all that stupid bullshit to look this good. Fuck you." He's like, "I just run around a lot. I just work out, and I look this good. What's your excuse, scrub?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, way to make me feel like a fuck." But yeah, no. Geno Smith, 369 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 13 yards rushing on 1 carry.
This past game?
This game against the Commanders, yes.
Ooh.
It was a close game against the Commanders, but Geno Smith was lighting it up, dude. If your offense scores anywhere in the ballpark of 30 points and you lose the game, it's your defense's fault. Right? Can we agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Like your defense has to keep the other team to no more than 21 points. I feel, or else they did not do their job.
Yeah.
Personally, that's my view on the situation. Um, the only time that the offense is called into play is when they score like 6. But yeah, I think the Seahawks look extremely solid. I think that they are going to win their division. I'm calling it now, and I called it at the beginning of the goddamn season. Did I not, Marcus?
I mean, I don't remember. I don't
Do
remember
you
the
want me to throw it
division.
up on the screen for you? Because I predicted the Seahawks at 9 or 10 wins with the star to win the division. In the preseason, I called that.
I believe you.
And I
I
put the
believe you.
49ers at 9 wins. I'm just saying, I'm very happy
I
with my predictions right now.
uh, just a little thing. I would probably say that my game of the week for next week would be
Oh boy.
the Seattle 49ers game. That would probably
What?
be
Next week, Seattle plays the Rams.
no. It's Bucks then Seattle.
I'm looking at it right now in front of my face. November 19th, Seahawks versus Rams.
Not this week.
Oh, the week after.
Yes.
Okay, so week 12.
Yes. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
that's
ahead.
absolutely going to be mine too.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say game of the week:
Seahawks and
San
and
Francisco and
49ers.
Seattle.
Yeah, that is the game of the week, and that's why it's the Thursday night football game, dude. God damn. Wait,
Oh, that's a Thanksgiving
that's
game.
the Thanksgiving game. That's the Thanksgiving dinner game. Holy shit.
Oh boy.
Oh, dude, that's going to be some
Oh.
good eating.
Oh no.
Dude, the first Thanksgiving game starts at 12:30? What
Yeah.
the fuck? Why not like 1?
12:30. That's the Lions, right?
Man, I feel really bad for the Thanksgiving night game players. They actually did not get to have Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, I mean, they just do it a little bit earlier.
No, they don't. They can't eat all that food.
Oh
It
well,
fucks
yeah.
with their game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, just eat some turkey.
They go to sleep on the field. Man, that week we got some serious games, but we'll talk about that when the time
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
though. But yeah,
Yeah.
Geno Smith lit it up. If you had listen to me. If 3 years ago you had said to me, Geno Smith is going to look like an MVP candidate in 2 years playing for the Seattle Seahawks, I would have slapped you in the mouth and called you a crazy person and told you to get the hell away from me. He was a total scrub. Everybody had written off Geno Smith. Everyone wrote off Geno Smith, and now he's the big man on campus. Like, yeah, here, look, I pulled up his stat sheet right now. So in 2021 and 2020, he was playing for the Seahawks as a backup. In 2021, he threw for 702 yards total on the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
The year before that, 33. Before that, he was the backup for the Chargers. He threw 8 yards. Before that, he was the backup for the Giants, threw 212. And then starting, or no, he wasn't starting. Sam Darnold was starting, but backup for the Jets, 126. Backup for the Jets, 265. And then started for the Jets in 2014 and 2013, 2,500 yards and 3,046 yards. Last season, he threw for 4,282 yards for 30 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That is an MVP season.
Mm-hmm.
This season, his interceptions are looking a little bit worse, but he's thrown 11 touchdowns and he has 2,100 yards. This is insane. This is like the comeback story of the decade for an NFL quarterback. And he's from, Marcus, Miami, Florida.
Oh shit! Well, I'm gonna be cheering extra hard on Thursday.
Yeah, he
One cheer for Bird solidarity. One cheer for Miami.
dude, he's awesome. I just It's hard to believe he went from playing so poorly on the Jets and then being a permanent backup everywhere in the NFL to being a premier starter / MVP candidate.
I didn't realize that he was such a
A bum?
yeah, like, I mean, not that he is a bum, but like that he was bummed around so much. Like, I thought he had been with the Seahawks for at least 5 years.
This is his 5th year, I think.
Yeah.
Like, he's been with them for a while.
I mean, as a starter.
Just as a backup. Oh, yeah, no. No, sir. No, sir. Oh, no, this is his 4th year. Sorry, not his 5th.
Mm.
But yeah, no, other than these past 2 years with the Seahawks, he hasn't been a starter since 2014.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's, dude,
Man, that kinda
actually,
sucks. That kinda
rise from your grave. I just, seriously, man,
That
his
really does
entire
suck.
career was wasted.
Yeah.
Because he could have been this good if he just had a coach and a team around him that could have made him look like this.
Yeah, I really feel bad for him now.
Could you imagine if Andy Reid has gotten his hands on this guy?
Bruh.
Or Bill Belichick or anybody who knows how to coach? This just goes to show you how ridiculously fucking god-awful the Jets coaching was. And what did I say about CJ Stroud? Please, for the love of God, don't let that young soul stay with that head coach who has no fucking clue what he's doing and couldn't even sell seats in his own stadium for home games only 2 years ago. He is a bum. Get him a superstar level coach. Like CJ Stroud, he is an angel and you must treat him accordingly.
Is he one of the best rookies to have started in the past?
Yes,
10 years?
absolutely. He's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Like
He like for a rookie, you mean for just a rookie season?
yeah.
Yeah, he has one of the best rookie seasons I've seen in an extremely long time.
Like
Dude's a superstar.
I had some notes on this. He has a third longest pass among all the QBs. An average of 8.3 yards per pass.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Only being beaten out by Tua and Brock Purdy, actually. Somehow he gets a 9 average. He has a 9-yard average somehow. I don't know how.
Oh, God, man. I was just... Hold on, I gotta jump on this. Just because of the disrespect I'm seeing on my screen right now. So this person... I was just trying to look at CJ Stroud and see what records he holds as a rookie. And what I found is an article titled, CJ Stroud can be MVP. He won't be, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Lions will earn NFC's #1 seed.
Excuse me?
He thinks that the Lions are going to beat the Eagles out for the NFC seed. Like the conference champ.
I mean, sure, if it's not going to be the Eagles, I prefer to be the Lions, but like what copium?
Yeah, but like what do they think the Cowboys are just total scrubs? Like I don't understand. And the 49ers and the Vikings?
Copium are they huffing like
I don't know. I think he must be a Lions fan. Like there's no other possible explanation. or the Seahawks or literally anybody other than the Lions. Like I don't understand. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Lions are definitely good. They're going to win their division, but like they aren't in the same stratosphere as the 49ers, Eagles, and Cowboys. Like, what the fuck? And the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put them like 6th in the NFC.
Yeah. Unless they go on a fucking
5th.
tear. Unless they go on a fucking tear right now.
I mean, they are on a tear.
Like the defense got to be sharpened up as the games have been.
They sharpened up.
The past couple. What are the scores for the past couple games been?
Okay, so in their game against the Chargers, they gave up 38 points, but the Chargers are good.
Sure.
The Raiders 14, they got beat to fuck by the Ravens. And then 6, 24, 26, 37, 20.
In my head, they had a lot more. There were a lot more shootout games. I don't know why.
Nah. They either win or lose, except against the Chiefs, who they beat. Man, I cannot believe that the fucking Lions beat the Chiefs to open the season. That is quite the statement game for the Lions, but unfortunately, ain't gonna do them too much good.
Mm-hmm. Going back.
What are the Lions' remaining games? Why does this guy think that? Oh, the Bears, okay. Oh, the Packers, okay. The Saints, Bears, Broncos. Vikings, Cowboys, Okay, the Lions have the easiest schedule I've ever seen in my entire life for the rest of the season. They might win the conference. they might just do it by sheer force of will. But I mean, to be honest, the Eagles still have to play against the Giants twice and the Cardinals once, and the Bills, who are barely a 500 team.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to get turned into an under 500 team.
Going back to Houston this past week.
Yes, CJ Stroud, the king of the jungle.
550 yards of offense.
Yeah.
Much.
He's a god.
You have CJ Stroud throwing for 356. Exactly half of that, or no, not exactly half, but almost half of that going to Noah Brown with seven receptions.
Yeah, who the fuck is Noah Brown? I've never heard of this fucking cat in my life. Who is this bum? I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. He's just some scrub? Some scromboli? Oh, he was a Cowboy last year. They traded him to the Texans. What? Man, the Cowboys really have no idea how to run their organization, do they?
No, they do not.
They wouldn't know talent if it bit them on the left ass cheek.
And then you have Devin Singletary with 30 carries for 100.
Well, he's a monster.
Sure, but 150 yards. Like,
you know who they stole him from, right?
Us?
No, that's the Bills.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, you're right. Oh, my Lord.
And he's only 26.
Oh, my God.
He could potentially be a lifer for the Texans organization. Like, he might spend the rest of his career there.
And then it's like, and the Bengals...
I'd keep him.
And the Bengals still did really well in this game. Burrow for 347 yards.
They scored 27 points. It was an ankle biter.
Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd each for over 100 yards. Like,
yeah. Sick game.
Like, I know we've been saying it for like the past 2 weeks, but the AFC North.
Yeah, dude, that's a blood bowl.
It is such a fucking blood bowl.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in that division.
Last year, and correct me if I'm wrong, last year every division had like its clear winners. Right?
I wouldn't say clear winners. For all of them?
I'm trying to think.
Let me see. Yeah, like the AFC South, the Jaguars won with a 9-8 record.
Well,
and the NFC South, the fucking...
Let's not talk about the NFC South.
The Buccaneers got an 8-9 record, win their division. And I mean, honestly, the NFC East, we talk about how baller the Eagles were last year, but they only won the NFC East by 2 wins. The Cowboys went 12-5.
Yeah, well,
so
tried harder.
It's pretty close. Oh, the Dallas sucks.
Stupid assholes.
Don't know how to run an organization. Yeah. Give up Noah Brown.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Noah Brown? Jesus Christ. They make the bummiest fucking players look so good. And that's the magic of a good quarterback.
But in the past season, was there a division that was as tough as the
Not
AFC,
even close.
As the AFC
Unless
North?
you talk about the ones that were so ridiculously bad that they barely won any games.
Yeah.
Like the NFC South.
like, man, the AFC North is going to skew power playoff predictions.
Heavily, yeah. Well, seeing as how they're gonna take the entire fucking suite of wild card spots.
Just like,
God, how did the Bills go from a 13-win season to this?
God, right? They're.
They had 13 wins.
Oh God.
They've completed. You know what? I'm labeling it. This is officially the first implosion of the football season. The Bills have imploded.
Mm-hmm.
They're done. This is a complete collapse.
Oh God.
Fire the coach. Get rid of him. It's over.
Mm.
But
Let's
yeah,
see.
no, I would bounce on CJ Stroud if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
That guy is really throwing some balls.
Let's see what else. A quick note on the Browns Ravens game. They were the Ravens were like 100% favored to win until
By
pretty
a
much.
lot, wasn't it a 6.5 point differential?
I don't like that. That I don't like understand. All I saw when I was looking at the stats today, I saw the win probability on ESPN, and the for the entire game, the Ravens were at 100. Or they were incredibly favored.
99.
They were incredibly favored to win until I think exactly when Deshaun Watson stepped out and said, "No fucking more," and flipped it.
Well, Deshaun Watson is a good player too. He might have some weird sus shit going on off the field, but he is a monster.
Yeah, at the 11 and a half minute mark in the fourth quarter, that's when it changed.
By the way, did you see? I think it was DK Metcalf. I think it was DK Metcalf, but he had the medical carts come out and cart him to the locker room so he could poop.
No, I didn't see that. I feel like
That's
Metcalf.
so fucking funny.
I feel like Metcalf would be like a great guy to hang out with, right?
I think he's just the funniest clown in the universe, man. Like, he's a goofball. I think I'd get along with him pretty well. He seems like a silly guy.
Yeah.
He's a jokester. I feel like he breathes an air of fun into a stale environment.
Do you have any other major points?
Yes. Conveniently, the Lions are my next point. I think they're obviously going to clinch their division at this point. I don't think the Vikings are going to catch up to them. I'd be very surprised, at least, if the Vikings took it from them at this point. I know that the Lions are only up one game on the Vikings, and they're on a 5-win win streak, but they do have Josh Dobbs as their starting quarterback right now, and that's kind of rough to deal with. I mean, Josh Dobbs, he sticks it out there, and he plays really well, and he does his best. But if we're being honest with one another, everybody knows that he's not a starting quarterback. Like, come on. Be real here. You know he ain't a starting quarterback. Sure, he looked real good against the Saints. And who else? Who else did he look real good against? The Falcons. But, like, come on, man. Against real real teams, he's going to be exposed for the backup quarterback that he is, you know? And I think that because of that, the Lions are definitely going to clinch their division. But I will say, I don't think they're going to go very far. I think the Lions are actually going to get to the playoffs. And I think that they are going to probably meet, like, the Cowboys or something like that in the playoffs. And I think they're going to lose.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you, Mark. My greatest fear is that the Eagles meet the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Yeah. That's gonna be something. Like
That would be highly unpleasant.
we really need Washington to step up.
And beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
I don't know if the playoff math really changes it. I think we just need them.
We just need the Cowboys to get dealt some losses so that they have no chance of
We need that.
surging.
I need that. We need that too, but I would really like it if they could handle the loss on Thanksgiving. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, the Cowboys are pretty good on Thanksgiving.
But like I was just thinking about it, right? So if let's say we somehow lose in Dallas a couple weeks, right? We go to 3-1, right? The last divisional games we have are against the, so that's an easy 5-1, right?
Sure.
Do you think that the Eagles would be more likely to maybe give up a Giants game if Dallas was dealt another divisional loss?
Of course. I mean, dude, let me put it to you this way.
That's the play, though, right?
If they have, okay, listen, I want to talk about this a little bit. Let's get into Eagles. I know they had their bye week, but we love them. So they had their bye week, but let's see. Over the next 5 games, they're going to play the Chiefs, the Bills, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Seahawks. Here in Philadelphia, we're referring to this part of the schedule as the gauntlet. We have to play good teams back to back every single week for the rest of the season. This is going to pose a serious problem for the Eagles. I think that if the Eagles can't go at least 3-2 over the next 5 games, we're looking at like collapse territory. They have to. Yeah, collapse. I think they need to win the conference. Their players are old as fuck. They need that extra week off in order to succeed in the playoffs. There's no choice.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, the only way that you're going to be able to give them a lot of rest and, like you just suggested, take off the last game of the season against the Giants, which would be lame because everybody likes seeing a nice Giants game. But
I mean, it's just a smart thing to do.
No, honestly, I'd prefer if they just didn't have any, even one starter on the field for that game if possible. And I think that if they don't go at least 3-2 over the next 5, there ain't no chance that they're going to be able to sit their goobers for that last game, because it's more important that they win the conference than sit their players for that last game, obviously.
Right.
But who do the Cowboys have coming up? They have the Panthers, the Commanders, the Seahawks, the Eagles again, the Bills, the Dolphins.
They get to play the Panthers?
Yes.
Fuck.
That's an automatic W.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, for real. Bryce Young, I'm channeling all my spirit energy into you. But no, so they got the next 5 for the Cowboys is Panthers, Commanders, Seahawks, Eagles, Bills. So they have 2 tough games in that entire lineup. Maybe the Seahawks. You could consider. See, my biggest issue with the Seahawks is that you never know what the hell you're going to get when they walk out on the field. Like, you're either going to get a superstar team with an MVP quarterback, or you're going to get a team that has no idea who they are. But yeah, I think the Cowboys win at least 3 of those. They beat the Panthers, beat the Commanders, beat the Seahawks. I'm fairly confident that the Eagles will beat the Cowboys in Dallas. My confidence in beating them has actually risen substantially since their
Uh,
first outing.
Really quickly, I just want
Sure,
to
sure,
ask:
sure.
would it be bad manners if I went to the maintenance man to who's a fan of the commies and said to him, "I really hope you guys win on Thursday just to guarantee the Eagles number to
No, no,
guarantee
dude, go ahead and do that. Everyone hates the Cowboys.
the
No, just tell them, like right before the game, just be like, "Hey, man, Dallas sucks."
I'm pulling for you, man.
I guarantee you, he'll be like, "Yeah, fuck the Cowboys.
Hmm?
Dallas sucks." No, but in the NFC East, nobody likes the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Nobody. Except for the
No.
Cowboys, and
Them
even that's a
boys.
maybe. Yeah, they are not them boys. But anyway, over the next 5, they're gonna beat the shit out of the Panthers, beat the shit out of the Commanders, and probably beat the Seahawks. I actually put that one as a maybe. 2 guaranteed wins. I think they'll crush the Bills. So I'm gonna slot them up at least 3-2. So if the Eagles only win 3 out of the next 5 games, we're still only like what 2 games ahead of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's dangerous. That's really bad. But then the Cowboys have to go to Miami and play the Dolphins, and then they have to beat the Lions. And then the Cowboys' last game is their second bouting with the Commanders. The Cowboys have a much easier rest of the season than the Eagles do.
Yeah.
The Eagles need to clutch up.
Yeah. They really do.
Like, dude, if the Eagles don't win, honestly, I want to see them win the next 3 in a row.
Next 3 in a row is Chiefs.
The Chiefs, the Bills, and the 49ers. They have to.
I mean,
Like we're getting to the point where I'm almost willing. And then think about this: we're 8-1. The Lions are 7-2. They're right behind us.
yeah.
We have to win these 3 games.
Okay, so we host the Bills and the 49ers. Okay.
Big fucking whoop.
Do we have
Look what the Cowboys did to us in our own stadium.
Sure, but we have a winning record in our own stadium.
Oh, that's crazy. So does every other fucking team in football.
Well, they don't.
Oh, I know. I'm being hyperbolic. But for the most part, you can count on your home wins. But, like, I have no faith that they'll have trouble beating the Bills. Like, I think the Eagles are going to crush the Bills.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest.
That's definitely the easiest of the 3. The 49ers, I think that they have an absolute grudge match against the Eagles coming up here. There's a lot of bad feelings there. There's a lot of vitriol. I hate the 49ers and their crybaby fans. And nothing would please me more than the Eagles pummeling them into the dirt, just like they did in the NFC Championship last year, stopping them from going into the Super Bowl because they were dirt last season. Nothing would please me more than crushing them. But they're good. Like, I ain't gonna fucking bullshit you. Like, the 49ers are good.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then honestly, if the 49ers lose their first game against the Seahawks before coming to us, they're probably going to be pretty feisty for a win.
Let's hope that.
Unless they just lose 3 in a row. Seattle, us, Seattle.
God.
That would be a total collapse.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, for real. I would become something. I don't know. But I'd do it.
I would ascend.
Yeah, I would just transcend from my corporeal form. But the Eagles have to win. Like, if they don't beat the Chiefs, I don't care. If they don't beat the 49ers, I don't care. But if you're going to lose those 2, you better beat the Bills, Cowboys, and Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
That's my benchmark right now is that out of the next 5, they must win at least 3. If they go 2-3, I'm sounding the alarm bells and jumping off ship. Like, that's full-on emergency if they go 2-3 in the next 5 games.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cataclysm. Because if the Lions continue to perform at the level they're performing at, and we gain 2 more wins, they're going to take the conference from us. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, 2 of the remaining games on the season for the Lions are against their Vikings. They're going to smack them.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like, Jesus Christ.
We're coming into... It really is a do or die time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's scary. It is
Yeah.
actually scary.
Yeah, out of these last 8 games, the gauntlet, the Eagles really, really do need to put away at least 5 of the next 8. At least. So you can count on the first Giants game and the Cardinals game. Those are obvious wins. Too easy. Okay, so that's 2. And I think they can beat the Seahawks, so that's 3. And I think they'll beat the Bills, so that's 4. They have to beat the Chiefs, 49ers, or Cowboys. They have to. It's not optional. They have to beat at least one of those 3.
Wait, the Chiefs, Cowboys, or who?
49ers.
49ers. Okay.
They have to beat one of them. Like, that's the outlying game. Well, let me put it to you. They have to beat one of them in order to clinch the conference and sit their starters in the last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But the NFC is a pretty close race between the Lions and the Eagles right now, and the Cowboys too, honestly. The 49ers, I kind of feel like are a little bit out of it at this point, but you know, like for the conference title, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Eagles have some key people returning from injuries for this game against the Chiefs, but the problem here is the Bills seem like they're going to be the easiest game for the Cowboys. The Bills seem like they're going to be the easiest game for the Eagles to win out of the next 5, but they're on a short week. They have to go from Monday to Sunday.
Yeah.
So they go into their easiest game of the gauntlet on a short week. And then they play the Cowboys in Dallas at primetime. It's pretty abysmal. And we have the New Year's Eve game, too, against the Cardinals. Weird things happen at the end of the year, Mark.
Yeah. This is...
But yeah, like, dude, this isn't going to be easy. And honestly, I've been hearing a lot of Eagles fans around here. I'm in Philadelphia. They really think it's just going to be a cakewalk right into the playoffs like it was last year. But, dude, it's not. These teams are not scrubs, except the Bills.
Yeah, this is... It's like, it's just so scary.
It's harrowing.
It's just so scary, right? Because you see San Francisco come off their bye week and absolutely make a mockery of the fraud that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then it's like,
can't beat the Broncos.
Are the Eagles going to do that? If the coaching finally figured it out?
I don't think it's a coaching problem anymore. I think it's a learning the system problem now because they brought in Kevin Byard, for example, and he's brand new, and they pretty much threw him to the wolves for his first 2 weeks. Like, I mean, how used to the defense and the system and the play calling can you really be after only 2 weeks?
I mean, sure.
Well, like 1.5 weeks in all reality. But now he's going into a game with 4 weeks with the team. That's enough time for somebody like him to actually prepare.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see an actual secondary in this next game. Though I will say, I think that, ironically enough, and as much as I hate it, I think the Chiefs are an awful matchup for the Eagles. I think that they are like the worst possible matchup the Eagles could ever hope for. And the reason I say that is because they have a whole bunch of no-name receivers. but they have one key thing with their receivers. The receivers are fast as fuck. Like they prioritized speed over size on the Chiefs, and the Eagles secondary is old and not that fast. I think they're going to get burned a little over the top. Unless this bye week was amazing, unless it was the perfect amount of time for them to rest up. However,
it really fucking sucks that both of us go onto the bye week and then immediately play each other.
Yeah. For the Chiefs, you mean?
Yeah, like that.
Well, I think that the bye week helps the Eagles more than it helps the Chiefs. Because the Eagles had more injuries, they're older, they have more need of rest, really, than the Chiefs do. Not that the Chiefs don't need any rest at all, but the Eagles have a banged up quarterback. Their secondary's beat up. I mean, dude, if you go and rewatch the game with the Eagles versus the Cowboys, fucking Darius Slay and James Bradbury were on the ground some plays. Like they were just winded. They were done. Like they were just like tired. They were exhausted. They couldn't continue. They had to come out for a play or two. So yeah, I want to see some members of the secondary come back fresh, because I think when they're fresh, they're lights out, but they got to be fresh because they're older. I mean, you got to prioritize rest with the older guys. That's just how it is. And I don't think that the Eagles have the depth at secondary that they thought that they had going into the season, because I think they would have picked up another corner. Though I have actually heard recently that the Eagles did try to pick up a corner going into the season, and they wouldn't give him up. The one that they particularly were trying to pursue, from what I've heard, is Pat Surtain III from the Denver Broncos, who is arguably like a top 3 cornerback. But apparently they wouldn't bite the sausage.
Howie couldn't work his magic there.
Yeah, I think people are starting to get wise to his Satan powers. Seriously, he's like dealing with the devil, man. You just give up your bones.
And then it's like the upcoming draft, and it's like, oh my god, they gave up so much to Howie.
Yeah, for real. I mean, that's just every single season, dude. How the fuck did he do this? All right, so Marcus, did you have any more points?
No, I didn't.
All right, let's jump ahead to our games of the week for this upcoming week. You want to go first, or do you want me to jump?
I get like, I'm gonna have to say Eagles Chiefs.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, as much as I don't want to just say, "Oh, it's our team," you guys should.
Dude, it's a Super Bowl rematch on Monday Night Football. What more could you want?
Yeah.
It's a fantastic game. It is the game of the week. That's why it's Monday night primetime football. However, the Bengals Ravens is going to be a good ass game, dude.
That would be my second.
My only regret about the Bengals Ravens game is that I'm not watching it right now. However, I do think that there are 2 sleeper picks of what I think are going to be really good games. I'm going to say that I think the Steelers-Browns is going to be a good game, and I think that the Jets-Bills is going to be a really good game. So, allow me to do something very quickly. This is going to be my final segment that I perform for the night. I am about to make the case for Zach Wilson.
Oh, Lord.
I know. I've been thinking about it for a while, and this case will build over the following weeks, so stay tuned. He doesn't have the best stats. It's not a statistical basis that I'm making this on. It's just simply the case that if you actually watch the football games and how they develop and how they play out, he looks great. Like, he throws the ball where it needs to go. He's doing exactly what his coaches are asking. You can tell. It just might be that his coaches aren't very good. And honestly, I kind of feel bad for him because I feel like if he just had some of that magic Pixies quarterback dust sprinkled on him by like an Andy Reid, a Bill Belichick, or any of those, I think he could really be kind of a little, at least a little bit of a good quarterback. Dude, it would be a total nightmare for the Jets and everybody in that division if the Jets made the decision to trade Zach Wilson to Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I think it would. I think he could really work with someone like Zach Wilson pretty well. I think one of Zach Wilson's biggest problems is that I think there's a serious lack of leadership in the Jets locker room for most of his career so far. He sure he had Aaron Rodgers for like 5 seconds, but Aaron Rodgers is kind of a prima donna dick. He's kind of an asshole. Like I could never imagine Aaron Rodgers actually coaching up my backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could never imagine it. It would be a disaster because he's just too much of a dick. So yeah, I think that's a crock of nonsense. I think that if he got traded to a team like Patriots and he was under Bill Belichick, that division might have a little bit of an issue on their hands developing over the next 2 years because I think that they just didn't leave him enough time in the oven to cook with a correct coach. And here's the thing, when you have a rookie quarterback who kind of busts out a little bit like this, normally they will get a chance in a starting role with another team at some point. Like look at Geno Smith, for example. But the thing is, I don't want it to be when he turns 30 instead of like next year or the year after. If the Jets don't want him, trade him. Just get rid of him. Stop ruining his career. Because I actually think that Zach Wilson could develop into something.
Mm-hmm.
Not something crazy. I'm not trying to say he's like a superstar or anything like that. But I think he could easily be a serviceable starter if he was just in a different coaching staff and a different organization. I think the Jets just ain't the place for him. And yes, I am going to continue making the case for Zach Wilson every single week that I see him perform well. And I am going to call it. The Jets beat the Bills this upcoming weekend.
All right.
You don't even want to tackle that one.
I really don't. I really do not.
No, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to bet on the Jets.
Okay.
I think the Jets win.
I'm expecting to see your bets this weekend.
Well, I might change my mind as we get closer, but as of right now...
You just said you put your money where your mouth is. You got to do it
Well,
now.
maybe my mouth will change its mind. I don't know. It goes a little faster than my brain does.
All
right, so really quick, let's do our power ranks. Have yours changed at all?
No. We have I think we need to address the power rankings after the next like 3 games.
Because yeah, I agree with you.
Because the next 3 games for a lot of teams are
major.
Are really what are going to determine where they could end up.
Yeah, it seems like in this season you're either the Patriots or you're the Eagles. That's kind of how it seems.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, dude. There are so many teams with 1 or 2 or 3 wins. It's just like, God, the fuck.
So in week 13, we'll address the power rankings.
Yeah, well, by then we'll be deciding how cool the Eagles Super Bowl parade is going to look. So,
yeah,
I have the utmost of confidence that they'll be able to win against the Bills and the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Chiefs, though. I think the Chiefs are going to torch them over the top. But I do still think the Eagles will win, potentially, against the Chiefs. I just think it's going to be a really rough and close and very high-scoring game.
If any game is going to be super close, but we still win, it's going to be the Chiefs game.
That's not how it played out last time.
I mean, it was super good. I mean, it was super close.
But we didn't win, and that's the problem.
We know the refs.
Shut up. We lost. Don't be a crybaby. What are you, a 49ers fan?
No, well, the 49ers lost because they lost all 4 quarters.
No, they lost because they lost. What do you want us to do? Restart the game? Stop? Wait a couple weeks?
I mean, sure, but seriously, Bradbury grazed him.
He tugged his jersey.
He tugged him a little, and it barely affected his. It
didn't affect the play at all. He did tug him. Marcus, don't be a crybaby whiner.
It's just
like a 49er.
I'm not gonna be a crybaby.
There you go. We're men around here, not 49ers fans.
Game was stolen. And let's not forget about the field.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, well, before Marcus gets too worked up, we're going to go ahead and end the Fumble Forecast for this week. Remember to go ahead and hit that follow button or subscribe button. Find us anywhere where you find your podcast. That includes Spotify. That includes YouTube. We have a good time, and we upload every single week. So come and check us out for your recap and predictions of the next week. So start A.J. Brown if you have him. Have a nice night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.